be up to date in the industry, I started doing online courses.
With your extensive experience, right, in content marketing, what strategies you found most effective?
How are you solving this problem better than other people in the industry? That's where the customers, they care about the ROI. So when it comes to brand awareness, see, for any B2B business per se.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Unwrapping Marketing, one piece at a time. Today, we have Poornima with us, a content marketing expert, an entrepreneur, a friend. We've known each other for quite some time now, and CEO of Penthusiasts, right? Welcome, Poornima. I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell us about your background and how you started your journey.
Hey, first of all, thanks Karthik and team for having me on this podcast. So I started this in stealth mode in 2017, and it's been about 6 years. So we are a fully functional content marketing agency. Our team is spread across the globe, and I have my working partner in Canada. So we have been serving to any kind of industry with their content requirements. So mostly we focus on funded startups and D2C brands to cater
Mm-hmm.
to their content requirements. So we deliver anything under the name of content. We say your website content, blogs, PR articles, thought leadership content, then content for your social media, content for products, then content for e-commerce, Amazon pages, A plus content, marketing collateral. So basically, we we do a overarching services of all content all content needs for startups and budding companies. And
Got it.
we have a 5 member team at present, and we also have a design team under Vidya. So we like kind of both help companies both design as well as content.
Got it. Okay. So, just a follow-up question on that. So, what made you start this company?
So I saw the need for quality content on websites, blogs, and socials. Especially for startups as well as some, IT companies that are in between 8 to 15 years of old. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the market actually lacks resources who have a proper awareness about what content is and how it has to be created. And unlike other industries, or unlike other domains, this is an industry where you can set it up right at your home, and that's how I also did it. Okay, so I saw the problem and I thought I can address this through this solution of mine, and I brought it like blog writing services initially, and then
Mm-hmm.
expanded it to other content formats also.
Got it. Okay. A little bit more background in terms of how did you start your career and what was your experience before starting up Enthusiast?
So I got graduated in 2016, and when I was graduating, the batch was actually the whole batch, of 2016 engineers. We struggled a lot to get jobs. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
even before 2016, when I was in like final years of my engineering, I interned with a lot of blogs, and I took up smaller roles as
Mm-hmm.
content interns with blogs and other companies. So that actually it gave me an interest or a window just to seek for a job opportunity in this particular area. But then I got into a full-time technical role. I was an engineer, and I got into a technical role where I felt that somewhere the calling is not there. And after that, I decided to quit the job and get into content and marketing with
Mm-hmm.
Suleka. And I spent around 1.5 years in the corporate. learning things. But situations were not kind enough for me to continue my corporate career. So maternity happened, and then I started all this during my pregnancy to postpartum phase. So between 2017 and 2018, a lot of things happened with Penthusiasts. We started it in the name of content is the king. And so what I did was, just to equip myself to be up to date in the industry, I started doing online courses. I picked up the HubSpot one, and I
Hmm.
also followed a lot of people, marketers, followed a lot of brands, read about them. So internet has been a very helpful tool to me. So in fact, you were one of my followers back then. So I used to follow your posts, yours, Karthik Subramanian, and other people. So I used to follow, do a lot of reading on internet apart from my HubSpot course, and
Mm-hmm.
I learned things over the course, doing some experimentation, and yeah.
Nice. So now I think you straight away you kind of jumped into a content writing job, and then you started your company, right? Like with you're an engineer as well, right? So
Yeah.
that's great. So what the first question, right? So with your extensive experience, right, in content marketing, what strategies you found most effective in today's digital B2B business?
Right. So when it comes to strategies, I would say, the prime thing that I would tell any B2B business is that to identify their purpose. Okay. So when I say identify the purpose, so you need to see what the customers are focusing on. Okay. So what do you want from the customers? And how your customers are expecting, are visualizing you or seeing you. So customers, like, it is pretty simple. So customers primarily focus on ROI, efficiency, and expertise. So all these three things, so be it ROI or expertise or efficiency, they are tied around just three, questions of your brand or your business. So it is basically the why, what, and how of your business. So when I say why, it there comes your expertise. So I just told you my story, like how did I start, this journey with
Hmm.
Penthusiasts. So similarly,
Yeah.
you will also have a story. You would have been an expertise or starting to build expertise in a particular industry, and you would have identified a problem. Okay, and you come forward as an entrepreneur to solve that problem. So that's where your why is. Second thing is the what. So when you have identified your problem, what are you going to do to efficiently solve the problem? And that's where your efficiency comes into the picture. How are you solving this problem better than other people in the industry? That's where the customers, they care about the ROI. So if I'm there is another content agency that is actually trying to solve a company's problem better than me, how are they going to make the customers happy in terms of the ROI? Similarly, if there is another search engine like Google tomorrow, which is very popular, maybe be it Bing or any other search engine, if they are trying to solve a customer's problem better than anybody else in the industry, that's when the ROI equation, the ROI picture of the customers, it will come into the picture and it will get solved. So basically, you need to identify what your customer wants and try building your strategy around the why, what, and how of your business.
Got it. So can you elaborate on how B2B businesses can leverage content to build brand awareness and generate leads, especially when there is a lot of competition around?
Um, so when it comes to brand awareness, see, for any B2B business per se, there is no a thumb rule, or lot of every company is different. So what is working for me may not work for you. So brand awareness. Speaking of brand awareness, what I would ideally tell is, there are a lot of traditional methodologies. Traditional methodologies, as in the marketing practices that have been in the industry, that have been for a while. Okay, so influencer marketing, say for example, influencer marketing came to existence more in the lockdown. And before that, affiliate marketing was a trend. So these are all trend based, or time based marketing practices, whereas there is something called a traditional framework or a traditional practice. Okay, so every B2B company should stick to that framework. They should make sure that their traditional marketing setup is already there. On top of it, they should build other marketing activities. So when it comes to brand awareness, by default, all of us use social media. So people ask me this interesting question. So I am a B2B. You think I shouldn't use Instagram for my business? So what I will tell is, when it comes to B2B business, um, brands, they should actually focus on building different kinds of content on Instagram and LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a place where a lot of thing around B2B is happening. Okay, so they should have separate strategies to create content on LinkedIn and Twitter, as well as Instagram. Whereas the content that is there on Instagram can be light and subtle, maybe something around your corporate life, company culture, or whatever you're doing for fun, more of a fun oriented content on Instagram, whereas LinkedIn quite serious stuffs. So this is one tip that I could give for awareness, creating brand awareness. Other than this, there can be blogs, podcasts, PRs. So when you're creating all these content formats, it should not be the same monotonous. So five things to use a HRM, five things to know when you're using a HRMS, or five things to know when you're using a CRM for the first time. So it has to be something little more intriguing, so that your customers will actually feel that they should read the blog. So that starts with the title. So there are certain nuances like this. When it comes to blog, your title should actually be a question or something that is like bang on the customer's problem. Only then they will have the interest to read. So these are all some of the awareness creation practices or brand awareness creation mechanisms in the traditional marketing setup. I would like to stick to all these things. So now what has become a trend is that when it comes to brand awareness, like I mentioned earlier, life at Rev Growth, or life at Penthusiasts, or life at Canva. So when you create an handle like this on Instagram and showcase more about your employee, their culture, your day-to-day activities within the company, that is becoming another trend, and that is actually creating a goodwill about your company among the customers. Other than this, so earlier it used to be only one form of one, or it either used to be a text post, or a static image post. But now when it comes to social media content, there are like trending news, infographics, moment marketing post, polls did not exist for quite a while. So it happened in the last few years. So all these forms of content, you should there can be mini blogs, newsletters on LinkedIn. So all these forms of content you should try and keep experimenting to create awareness among your customers.
Got it. Okay. So any example can you give in terms of how you help your customers on this, uh, like in terms of generating leads, especially?
So, see, basically, when it comes to lead generation, I'll tell you it is a very tortoise based process. So, like I mentioned earlier, the traditional framework, or the funnel concept, you can call it as ACCA framework, or some people call it ACC or ACD, awareness consideration, conversion, or awareness consideration and decision making. So this framework will stay, it will stay, and you need to nurture the leads through the framework. So you're creating awareness, and you are moving, say when an awareness is created, when I'll tell you how the process works. So I am posting about something on a recent work by Penthusiasts, some case study or some testimonial, or tips for somebody to follow something in the industry. What happens is that somebody tends to like it, or they wants to know more, and they get into conversation with me in the inbox. So from the inbox, what happens is that we will have a chat, maybe over a Google Meet or something, and the process it happens for me. Then we will take the lead, and then we will take another 2 weeks to convert them. So unlike B2C, in B2B, the sales cycle is long, and there are a lot of decision makers involved. So the reason why I told about the sales cycle is that you need to have patience to nurture the lead through the framework and get them on board. So with content, I would say lead generation is a very slow process, but if you keep it consistent, and if you are doing it without any hesitation, or you're being patient enough to wait for things to happen, then I think you can definitely crack it. Because more than 70% of B2B companies, especially SaaS companies, they are feeling that content marketing is one the most effective tool, and it is also, statistically speaking, it is also one of the efficient and cost effective methods of marketing. So if you're running ads, it is again a totally different story. You might have to spend a lot, whereas the spend capacity when it comes to content marketing is very less, but patience and consistency is the key here.
Yeah, I agree. So patience is the key and consistency is the key. For me, I think even when I started writing on LinkedIn, it took me about 2.5 years of everyday writing for me to see at least any kind of a lead, right? And then I started getting a lot of DMs, right? And a lot of not a lot of posts got a lot of reach, but then when it some posts got a lot of reach, and I started getting a lot of leads into my inbox, right? So absolutely agree with being patient, and that's the same logic, right? In any marketing channel, it's the same logic, right? So being patient and being consistent, right? If you're writing blogs, consistently write blogs, right? And consistently write blogs every single, week, every single day. It depends on how much ever bandwidth you have. But if you do that for 2 years, 3 years, right, and I think some of these things will accumulate, right? And I think I definitely agree with being patient. And I also agree that most of the channels, except for the performance marketing ad channel, that you will need a lot of patience and consistency in content marketing to build a proper lead funnel, or like a proper leads or brand, even brand, right? I definitely agree on that. So in your recent LinkedIn blog, you mentioned industries that should invest in content marketing in 2024, right? Could you share some insights into emerging trends and industries that you believe will see a significant growth through content marketing in the coming years?
So, before answering your question, Karthik, I would like to add one information here. So, a lot of brands and individuals, they get confused with having a good amount of followers and generating lead through social media. So, this is to all of them who are having this myth around building a lot of followers and lead generation. So, focusing on building 10K or 20K followers is a different task altogether, and you cannot, if you want to do it organically, I'm so sorry to say, it will take minimum of 2 to 3 years for you to get there at a 10K or 20K follower count. And it has nothing to do with your lead generation or your business, because it is a basic math. So if you are having, say for example, if you're having 10K followers, maybe 10% of them might be interested in your business. So 10% of 10K is 100,000, right? 1,000. So 10K, from 10K, 1,000 people might be interested, and let's take 10% from them. There might be 100 people who might be interested to listen to what you're saying about a particular, about your business. So if you get 100 likes or more than 100 likes to your post, it doesn't mean that all of them are interested. So it is
Hmm.
like a 10 of 10 of 10. So 10K, 1000, then 100, 10% of 10% of 10%. What actually matters is that out of that 100 likes, who is really interested to know more about your business, who is actually driving the conversation in the comment section and taking it to the inbox. So that's where your goal should be. And even if you don't have 10K followers, say if you are having only 4 or 4000 followers or 3000 followers, what matters the most is that how many people are becoming your community to support you or to listen to whatever you're saying with regards to the industry, and how many people are generating, how many leads you're generating, how many conversations you're taking to your inbox from those followers who are liking your particular post. So this is a very important piece, or it's a problem that I've noticed among businesses in the social media. So
Right.
coming back to your question, Karthik, industries that are heavily investing on content. So one industry where I am seeing a lot of traction happening, especially after COVID, is that healthcare industry.
Mm-hmm.
So before the pandemic, we would have made fun if a doctor is recording videos on Instagram.
Mm.
So after pandemic, things got things changed. Doctors have started giving a lot of inputs and
Yeah.
spreading a lot of awareness about multiple ailments. So there is one doctor who talks about orthopedics. There is another doctor who talks about gastroenterology. There are gynecologists who are talking about pregnancy and stuff. It is changing. Not only just doctors, hospitals are talking about best practices, the equipments that they have in their hospitals, so that the awareness is widened, it is broadened, and it is reaching a lot of people. So this could be one good example with healthcare industry. And the next industry would be manufacturing industries. So manufacturing currently, it is getting a lot of visibility because of the government. The government is pushing a lot of manufacturing industries to do better business. They have introduced a lot of schemes for them to come, for bringing investors from foreign countries to invest in manufacturing in India, and export and import. A lot of things happening around manufacturing. So, for example, if you are running a paper plate company, and you should definitely have the visibility on social media, because paper plate company is more of B and B2, C, little bit of B2C. So you are manufacturing X tons of paper plates in a day, and a distributor who might want to buy X number of paper plates from you, he might want to see how you are doing it, and then he
Mm.
gets interest, and the chain happens. And B2C, obviously they want to know where, okay, so if they know about the process, okay, they're like, okay, I learned something today, paper plates are manufacturing, getting manufactured this way. So that is with regards to manufacturing industry. So there are a lot of the process related content is created. Manufacturing industries are also creating content around employees. So you might take Ola for a very good example. So if you go see Ola socials, they have diverse content, across what they do, especially the Ola plant, the electric vehicle manufacturer I'm talking about, not the taxi part of it.
Mm. Mm.
Okay. And last but not the least, this industry, they are always there in the market. So it is none other than SaaS. So probably the only industry that has actually fully understood the potential of content marketing, I would say. So when it comes to SaaS, more than 75% of SaaS companies, they are actually in the plan to increase their content marketing
Mm.
budgets according to HubSpot. So these three are the healthcare, manufacturing, and SaaS are the top three industries according to my research and studies in the past, Karthik.
Thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe to Rev Growth and stay tuned for the next part of the episode. Thanks again for watching.